Mike and I are at the fair. We're having lots of fun. And it's really hard to vlog here because it's so noisy and there's so many people. But I'll show you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my crown, my Pandora dress, Sparkle Fever, and all this stuff. I'll show you Mike's outfit. We're having a good time.
Having a good time.
Excellent. Here's the...
We have a double shield shatter on the field of combat left.
Woo! Our guy's still winning.
That is 3 points. The sixth and final pass to round 1.
Go Vincenzo!
Yeah, this guy's tough.
Couple of days, and I worked the Renaissance Fair this weekend. I just haven't really been in much of a vlogging mood, and I've been working so much that there really hasn't been much that I can vlog except driving. All the driving that I do, all the time. So right now, I am in a rental car because my car is in the shop getting its bumper replaced from our car accident and getting the left tail light fixed and checking the alignment because it's been weird. And I booked this gig in San Francisco. Today's Monday. I booked a gig in San Francisco tomorrow. So I shot, let's see. I shot on Wednesday. Well, I didn't actually shoot. I went to set for this TV show. They screwed up something. They booked me for a scene and then they didn't shoot that scene that day. I don't know if they shot that scene that morning and they just booked me for the wrong time. It was a mess. So they felt bad that they didn't use me. So they brought me back the next day. Stop it! So they felt bad that they didn't use me. So they brought me back the next day. And then we showed up and there were 4 of us who had the later call time who got sent home because they had screwed up even bigger and had booked too many people. So the other 3 people were like really upset and threw a fit, and I just got a little crafty and decided, well, I just decided to see what I could negotiate. So I talked to the guy who does the casting and the talent coordinating, and I got him to commit to getting me on at least 2 more shoot days. So he agreed and he brought me back the next day. And I might have weaseled my way into steady work for the next 3 months. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. Really hope it pans out. Really hope it pans out. Yeah. So this morning we dropped off my car to get repaired, and then we went to LAX to pick up my rental car, and then I had to drive to Burbank for an audition, and then I went home and I felt really sick, so I took a nap and then I packed, and now I'm on the road. I've been driving for 3 hours and I have like 4 to go before I get to San Francisco. I'm staying with my friend Sarah Rose in San Francisco, and I'm shooting in Pleasanton, so should be good. And I've worked with these people a couple of times before. Car accidents are such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
For the last few days, I've been feeling paranoid about natural disasters, because that's what I do. And in the spirit of preparedness, I decided that we should mount the TV in the bedroom. I mean, it's on a stand. The shelf it's on, however, is not very big. So this is what we have the TV in the bedroom on, and it's kind of wobbly, you know, because it's thin. It has a low profile. So we were gonna mount the TV on the wall behind it, and now we've made a bunch of holes in the walls, because this is what we do as renters. So the stud finder doesn't work on these walls because they're sheetrock instead of drywall. So what you can do is you open up the outlet, and if there's a gap around your electrical box, you can see the stud. We couldn't see the stud, there was no gap. So we put a nail into the wall on either side, and neither one of them seemed to have a stud. So I guess this electrical box is just suspended in the wall on nothing, I suppose. So we just had to kind of like guess. Theoretically, the stud should be 16 inches apart. Not really sure if that's reality here either. So we decided to guess, and it came up that, according to our measurements, the left side of the electrical box should be where a stud is if the 16 inches starts in the corner, which theoretically it should, but you never know because this is our reality. So we measured everything out. The stud should have been here, but we made the hole and there was no stud, and when I put this Gorilla hook in, there is no stud anywhere around it. Nothing there. So we did new measurements, tried something else, and we thought the stud could be here. We put this hook in, there's obviously no stud to the right of it, but when you go to the left, it sounds like there's a metal stud there, right? It's getting caught. Same thing when you go down to the bottom. So we thought, okay, well the stud has to be right next to it, right? Apparently not, because when you put this in, you can swing it to the right, but you can't swing it to the left, which is really confusing, and I don't understand what's going on. So I thought maybe it was like some kind of weird like hollow metal stud, and I had gotten that one in the very center. Still doesn't make sense, because why can I twist the hook to the right? It's weird. So we decided to go with it because it's sheetrock, and it takes me like a full minute to drill into it. So I kind of feel like the TV is probably okay. It's not a huge TV. So I decided to go with that one, this second hole that I drilled, and we measured 16 inches over, and I found like an actual stud, like with super old redwood in it. So I don't understand why there's a stud there and there isn't one 16 inches over, and why the hook can go to the right on both of them, but it can only go to the left. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So we're just gonna go with it. I look like a crazy person.
You sound like a crazy person.
We did it. It worked. I'm gonna get all that stuff back where it belongs. The first one didn't line up, and the second one ended up being on a stud. And then the one above the second one wasn't on a stud for whatever reason. But the one that was supposed to be above the first one that wasn't on a stud, I just moved it over like an inch and it was in a stud. So there are at least 2 studs holding the TV up.
There's 3 out of the 4 are on stud.
Sort of, yeah. Now we're going to the movies. In the parking lot of Pavilions, which I'd never been into, but now I find out Pavilions is just like a fancier version of Safeway, which is nice because I really don't like Ralph's. And I hadn't been able to find a Safeway type store. Like, I think Vons is owned by Safeway, and there are Vons everywhere in LA, but I don't like Vons. They don't carry a lot of stuff that I need, and a lot of products that I'm used to. Mostly like the gluten-free stuff. It's hard to find my gluten-free bread anywhere in LA, which you wouldn't expect, because it's LA, not Siberia. So I'm eating some sushi rolls, and they're like really, really spicy. Some kind of a salmon roll with avocado. Oh my gosh, that's really spicy. It's supposed to be entered into someone's database. I'm in a new rental car. I just picked it up. I had an appointment with Thrifty this morning, and when I went in, the line was like, not even kidding, 50 people deep. It would have taken at least 2 hours to get out of there. So I went to the desk for the rental company I used last week, and I had to ask them because I can't find my makeup. My makeup bag has disappeared. I looked under the seats in that car, I looked in the back seat, I looked in the trunk before I returned it. There was nothing there. But I've also looked through my entire apartment and through Mike's car, and it's not there either. So I have no idea where my makeup bag is. Which is not good, because without makeup, I look like this. Like, I have no facial features. And really dark circles under my eyes. So I had to find my makeup. Like, I have some stuff, like a backup, and I was hoping they just had like a lost and found bin there, but they don't. So anyway, I was at that desk asking about my missing makeup, and he gave me a phone number and an email address for the person who comes and picks everything up, which is really strange, but whatever. So I emailed and got a response message that they are out of the office until 5 days from now. And they gave me a backup email address of someone else to email about it, so hopefully that person is responding. But I emailed them and they haven't gotten back to me, so I think I'm just gonna have to use like random makeup that I had laying around. I think these sushi rolls are like almost too spicy for me. I'm drooling. So yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm gonna eat my lunch in the car because I don't like other humans. So this is, and what I'm eating is some kind of a dragon roll, but it has salmon instead of the, what is it? The artificial crab meat, because artificial crab meat usually is not gluten-free. There are some brands that sell it now and they don't have the wheat starch in it, but a lot of the older brands do. So keep an eye out for that if you're gluten-free, if you have an allergy. So I get mine with salmon, and sometimes their soy sauce packets are fine, but sometimes I need my own. So I have this that I carry around in my purse, which you might think it's a little bit weird, but, and it's just this little Celestial Seasonings chamomile herb tea tin that I've had for ages. It's kind of worn down. And in it, I keep soy sauce packets that are gluten-free, because you never know when you're gonna need sushi. I think I have a problem.